Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Humankind, where today we're going to begin our second game, but before we do that, there is a little something I wanted to talk about. I didn't do this before the first game, because I was not entirely sure whether or not doing so would violate my embargo. It wasn't explicitly mentioned, but it was close to some things, and I thought better safe than sorry. But now that there is no embargo to worry about anymore, you may have noticed that during that last game, we were earning some in-game achievement type things, these trophies. These are not just achievements. You can see there is actually a reward. It is unlocking stuff. What it's unlocking is the ability to assign various biases and traits and stuff to our AI persona. So you can build basically an AI that prioritizes things in the same way that you do, that, try to make something that behaves like you, that will play like you. And you can see with 3 archetypes and 2 strengths and 2 biases, this is the same group of traits that we see on any AI player on the diplomacy screen. I just think this is a super cool idea. And then to be able to, I assume to be able to share these things and potentially give your friends an AI to play against that sort of represents you in their game, or if you're, a big famous streamer or whatever, to be able to sort of distribute that so fans can play with you, which I know is a thing that has already been done for some of the bigger streamers. I think it's a really cool idea, and it shows this in particular shows a focus on AI and particularly AI adaptability that I think is missing in a lot of 4X games. The weakest part of a lot of 4Xs is just kind of the crummy AI, and I like that Amplitude is putting this kind of thought into that system. Because of course, even when we're just playing against the AIs that the game shipped with, each one of them does have a different set of traits and a difficulty somewhat determined by how good their biases and their traits and stuff are. So I think that's really interesting. So for today's game, we're going to be playing on the highest difficulty, Humankind, 7 of 7. I have no idea if the decision-making will actually be different. In a lot of 4X games, obviously if you play on a very low difficulty, the AI is intentionally constrained from doing a good job decision-wise, but it's often the case that it reaches its full decision-making potential somewhere around the middle of the difficulty scale, and then from there, it's just the higher difficulties just represent the AI getting increasing levels of resource bonuses and extra units to start with and stuff like that. I have no idea whether this is one of those games or whether the AI does in fact continue to get smarter all the way up to the final difficulty. It's a thing we're just going to have to feel out a little bit. So aside from that, though, we're playing on normal pace. All of this stuff is still the default settings. We're just gonna see what happens. Just a normal game of Humankind, 8 players, but with the higher difficulty. And you'll see I've shuffled the colors and the actual AI personalities around a little bit, just to give us a little bit more of a little bit different experience here. And with that, I think let's go ahead and do it. I also did I redesigned the avatar just a little bit. I think the the red face paint, the triangle on the forehead and stuff, I'm pretty sure is from the fact that she's dressed as a Harappan. It's not actually part of her design. Also, she's way closer to the camera now, and I'm not 100% sure why. It's some change I made just caused her to step way up, and I can't get her to back up again. So I think she's friendlier. So for this game, what I would like to do is try to play in a pretty different way than we did last time. Let's well, hold on.
Our universe contains infinite stories, most of which are about rocks and ice at sub-zero temperatures in a vacuum. Rather boring. However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turn. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together, and things start to get interesting and a bit drier. A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind?
So yeah, like I was saying, I think we're going to try to play a little bit differently than we did last time. Maybe less of a population and science focus. That's very intuitive to me. That very much matches the way I try to play every 4X game, at least initially. So I'm thinking maybe we'll try to lean into money a little bit more this time, since we really didn't have much of a functional economy for a pretty large portion of that last game. And hey, what do you know? That's not a bad start. Also, I do want to mention that aside from the videos, I did turn the narrator off because I think we get it at this point. So yeah, I guess where are we relative to the edges of the world? Okay, we're very far south. So yeah, north seems like a reasonable way to go. Oh, hello. Okay, 2 science off of our first one. And I did do like I said and completely rebuild my game files here. So,
This way.
ooh, this region has 2 different luxuries. That's interesting.
What's over there?
All right, let's go ahead and burn out this hostile animal lair before it has a chance to be a problem. Yeah, peaceful animal lairs also potentially a problem. We've discovered Kawa-Ijen. Folklore abounds regarding the violent eruptions and blue fire, but it is the disfiguring rocks at Kawa-Ijen's heart that most frighten. Okay, so dangerous volcano, but it is a wonder in the same region as 2 different luxury resources and also a big river. And I mean, it's very hard to imagine that we're not going to settle this, right? We should probably finish scouting the rest of the tiles here and like put down an outpost as soon as we can. This is definitely high priority territory. Okay, 3, that's pretty lucky. So we have a pretty good idea now of what the place looks like as a whole. What does it cost to put down the first? Okay, the first outpost is 5. So, yeah, just build right on the river. Makes sense to me. Let's just get that established now so it has time to start building up. And prioritize the destruction of the hostile lair. Plus, it looks like hostile animal lairs are worth more. I think the peaceful ones are only 15 food, right? Go ahead and get that established. And we've got a narrative event already. Ah, yes. In the distance, a thin cord of smoke. We've seen this before. I am absolutely just going to take the refugees. We'll figure out the secrets of architecture later on our own, you know? So we managed to produce an awful lot of population that turn. We are already right about to have an era star. Let's have you head up this way. And obviously, I'm not giving much thought to fighting these mammoths. Oh, we can see a player border already, too. But I suppose that could change. We could just decide to take on the mammoths. We don't really need to, is the thing. We're going to be just fine on population stars either way. And honestly, like I still want to get the science star before we move on. Either way. Okay. 2 more science means we are potentially only a single science curiosity away from that star. Should we get lucky enough.
Yes.
I will have you go and just knock this out. And we know that there's a science curiosity here, and I think there was one over there too, right? Unfortunately, we're getting a little bit blocked by this mammoth, and I do not think that we are going to be able to handle it solo. I mean, we could try tacking north around. It doesn't really make any sense to go north around. Oh, here's one. Okay, now we're definitely only 1 science anomaly away. Ooh, look at this. Silver buffs research quarters, and that buffs researchers. Wow. Okay, so I would not be surprised at all to see black take a science-focused culture. Got our growth star. Let's go get the other star. Doing pretty all right on fame, thanks to our discovery of that wonder. We are absolutely moving up this era. And we do, in fact, stand at a crossroads. So, nobody else has moved up yet. Although purple's moving up at the end of the turn. So they've already claimed a culture. Yeah, like I was saying, I kind of want to go for a money-making culture. Let's just have a quick look over these, though. The Assyrians give you +1 land movement speed, which is an amazingly powerful legacy trait and wonderful to get first. The Danu seems honestly like fine. I guess it gives influence. The Assyrian Raiders only require a single horse, and they're a 21 strength cavalry unit, so that's neat. Babylonians very much in the track that we were in last time, it looks like, with a copper-based anti-cavalry unit that is stronger on defense. This is another like very powerful legacy trait to get to pick up early. Yeah, wow, both halves of that are really fantastic. And then yeah, the pyramid is even wow. And then their emblematic unit does not require much in the way of resources and is awesome. Gosh, that's a pretty good one. I think one thing that is worth noting, I suppose, that I just kind of brushed past, is that Expansionist might be a pretty good affinity to have in the first era. I mean, obviously, you're going to tear through science with the Babylonians, too. The Hittites, just +1 combat strength for all of your units forever. Obviously pretty cool. The Owari is... that is less exciting. 23 strength, heavy cavalry. Targeted unit cannot move on the next turn and has reduced combat strength. Is awesome. That is a terrifying emblematic. Mycenaeans, military. I mean, like, this is cool. Cyclopean Fortress is a maker's quarter with fortification that gives +3 combat strength to units nearby. That seems very, very good. And, you know, those guys are, like, pretty okay for a unit that does not require any strategics. Now, the Nubians might be a very good fit for us. 5 extra money on each of our luxury deposits, obviously, is pretty great. These Marrow Pyramids are a maker's quarter that also exploits money and provides money and counts as a market quarter. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then they have a superior archer unit, exceptional accuracy, and I think 19 is higher strength than the base archer. It might be like 2 points higher. I think Nubians is probably where we're headed. The Olmecs are very whatever. Okay, so it is money on luxuries and strategics. I gotta say, I feel like +1 influence on each of your territories is maybe not that exciting as a legacy trait. I guess it's very good early. But this isn't going to have the effect in Era 5 like +1 movement on all my units does, you know? Influence and food. It's a farmer's quarter that produces influence by being near farmer's quarters. That's pretty good. Oops, I was trying to scroll down. Here we go. And javelin throwers. Stronger on forest tiles. Okay, totally fine. The Phoenicians are a little bit more about water. I do think trading pioneers is pretty good. Haven is potentially quite a lot of money, and it's a farmer's quarter too, which is cool. And then the Byreme. The Byreme gives you the ability to travel through deep water in Era 1. That's actually really interesting. And then, of course, we know all about the Zhou. Yeah, let's do this one. Yeah, see, the red triangle is gone. Okay, so if we're doing that, we don't necessarily have access to a lot of great science output. So I kind of want to take storytellers. This will mean our science just takes care of itself, at least initially. There's certainly something to be said for just get a ton of population and then turn that population toward whatever goal you need to take care of. Let's try storytellers, though. We have an emblematic district that's already going to promote extra industry and stuff, but we are going to need help with science. All right, so if we go get this, never mind. I may as well grab that before we move up to the next era. This is interesting. So we're definitely going to want to take care of that layer. And this is a region that has copper too. So we probably want to expand toward that fairly quickly. Or maybe even make this like the second city region. And you also cannot reach that. You have remarkably little to do, actually. You can't quite get there, but we can move in the general direction of the sanctuary. Okay, we have more copper over here as well. We'll lean in here and we'll say hi to Black. Probably a good idea to meet the neighbors.
Ah, the challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay.
I really like the tone of all of the cinematics, like not taking the not trying to take like a grand serious history type tone. Just it feels a lot more human, you know, than the kind of narration you might expect from something like Civilization. All right, so we got attacked by a bear or something over here. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fearsome looking bear, but I think we can handle it. We will go manual, though, just to try to be safe. Bear is probably not a master tactician, and it looks like it might have been wounded already when the fight started. Alright. A little bit of money. Definitely got to clear this out. Just bears coming out of nowhere. We can definitely kill the mammoth, and I suppose we oughta. We're gonna have to get rid of a lot of the wildlife around here. Yeah, I think that makes sense, but I probably... I probably would just back up, right? Like, there's no reason to fight the mammoth now when we could fall back to the high ground. I suppose one thing I could do is... No, you know, we're just gonna do this for the moment. So I will hit you once. Wow, we got some real bad luck there. It came out terribly for us. My suspicion is the mammoth will just attack here. Oh, well, it's gonna go to the high ground because it apparently is kind of a master tactician. This is the smartest mammoth anyone's ever seen. Ah, shoot. Well, we're still gonna get it eventually, but I guess I'm gonna lose this battle in the sense that it is going to survive. Okay, we'll finish the mammoth hunt next turn. But yeah, I was not able to lure it into a disadvantageous position as quickly as as easily as I had hoped, which is a little embarrassing. All right, so we definitely want to just go ahead and city up, right? Yeah, that's right. Get out of my tile. And it feels like you just want to go ahead and lay down that pyramid right away, right? I guess the other option is we could go for a fast farmer's quarter, but like, yeah, we don't actually have that much food to reach out to. That's fine. We'll get this, and I think that's actually okay. We will focus our society in this way. I think we definitely want a rush calendar. Start getting the benefit of our stuff immediately. And yeah, just having the wonder around is wonderful for stability and food, influence, and money. I'm doing such a bad job hunting this mammoth. It's actually really embarrassing. So you're not going to do much against mammoths by yourself.
Off we go.
But I guess they're not going to attack me either. We may as well just keep looking around. Yeah, so do I want to settle up here? Grab access to this porcelain? Let's go ahead and put down the territory thing. Ooh, 60, okay. Well, let's hold off a minute before putting down the territory thing. So nothing else around here looks quite as enticing. What does our ability do? Invest in a resource deposit. If no extractor exists, one will be created instantly. Otherwise, you will share a sum of money with the owner. You'll both earn more money the more empires are buying the resource, and if the owner is an independent people, their cut will count as a bribe, improving relations. Okay. So probably not actually a thing that's going to be very useful initially. Boy.
Over this way.
Yeah, this sucks. This mammoth is extremely kicking my ass. Alright, if we attack uphill, but with a flank, we can minimize damage a little bit there. Ow. That's that's very bad. Alright, people are starting to move up. Somebody chose the Babylonians. I guess there's no reason to stop pushing west for the moment. Like, let's just continue to gather information. All of this is territory we may expand into someday. Alright, I don't want to end up too far away from this region. Okay, it's got another strategic. That's pretty cool. It's got a curiosity. I care about that, I guess. Y'all need to get back into friendly territory. Oh, that is a border, unfortunately. We are not going to be getting that sage. But, you know, if we do a good job and we generate a lot of money, maybe we can just buy access to it. I'm really pleased with how quickly we got our initial
Come over
our
here.
initial outpost down here. I mean, I guess like there's a lot of luck in that. So it's gonna be a little weird up here. There's not a ton of food. Honestly, 10-10's not so bad. That's better than I was expecting to get. Yeah, I think I'm inclined to take a 10-10. Let's... Okay, I kind of thought that was going to be a peninsula, but... Oh. First to discover the Gunning Mulu natural wonder. Well, we're killing it on the early game fame here. The caves beneath the striking pinnacled mountainside is said to be home to endless bats, bottomless shafts, and lost souls. Okay, maybe we want to expand this way.
Off we go.
Okay, we have formally met the Babylonians. Ah, right, and zone of control.
Greetings. I'm a good neighbor and a loyal friend. As long as you don't cross me.
Okay. I feel like it's very difficult to trust somebody who's just like, hi, I'm trustworthy and kind. So, you're impulsive but introverted. You are good at technology and really good at wonder building. And you systematically refuse demands. Okay. That's going to be important to remember. I'm not going to remember that. But it sure would be good if I did. Yeah, so I guess let's get access to this. We have settled near quite a lot of trees, so obviously like lumberyard would be useful. Alright, what's going on here? During the recent brutal battle, I assume they're talking about the one with the mammoth, many soldiers sustained horrific life-changing injuries before returning to Kerma. For some, their whole character has changed, becoming aggressive, demented, or unable to bear others' presence. Others suffer physical wounds, some forced to use crutches or carts to move around. Alright, how do we welcome our crippled soldiers? We can glorify them, of course, for stability. It doesn't really feel very valuable. It doesn't really change anything meaningful on the axes. Or we can exploit them. So neither one of these bonuses are actually going to do anything at all, I think. So, Homeland is bonus combat strength on units. And obviously this is faith versus science. I mean, maybe we push faith this time. I know we got a huge, powerful religion without having to work for it very hard in the first game. We cannot necessarily guarantee that that's going to happen this time. And obviously having religious dominance prevents people from generating good demands on us, helps us generate good demands on them, and potentially gets us the bonuses from leveling up our tenets quickly. Like, if we're gonna try something different, it's maybe worth doing. It's maybe worth resolving this particular thing in the direction of glorification just for the 1 point of tradition. Again, just sort of going against a lot of my natural
Do something
instincts
clever
here.
today. Sign this treaty.
An offer from you is pleasing to have.
Okay, yeah.
I like you. I agree.
I would love to be friends with my
This is
closest
most
neighbor.
satisfying.
Oh, you attacked me, did you? Just cold-blooded. So we could demand the money, and then they would refuse it, and that would give us pretext for war. I don't really think there's a good reason to do that at this point. I think we'll just hold the grievance for the moment. We'll probably just let it expire. I guess I shouldn't let it expire. If I think I'm not going to follow through on it, I should hold it for a little bit and then probably renounce it. All right, what else is going on down here? Got a strategic. Well, obviously that's got to go. And we're just going to stop and chill right the hell here. Okay, so that's just more incense.
Follow me.
All right, what is your deal?
Help me make this world a better place for all our peoples.
She's very toothy when she talks.
A friend.
Interesting. Lucy does not have visible traits. Okay, well, makes it hard to know, I suppose, exactly what's going to go on with her. We're not really looking for anything in particular. We're just getting driven off by getting attacked by our quote-unquote friend.
Let's go.
All right, so we got ourselves a little bit of science there, I presume. Where's my... Okay, yeah, about 15 science, actually. That's very significant relative to what we're able to provide at the moment. So... What do we want now? I mean, we have a fair amount of river tiles, so obviously like building toward flood irrigation is not bad. That said, we also probably want to unlock market quarters pretty quickly. Our emblematic makes money off of makers quarters, which reduces our need for early market quarters, I suppose. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's definitely build these. It's going to be worth an awful lot of money. How much money do we need for those early... Okay, it's pretty harsh, but we are getting there quickly. So this is the city of Byblos. There's Babylon. They're going to push in on us pretty quickly, I have to imagine. This has been created. It's going to take 160 influence to turn it into a proper city. I think we probably want to. It's got enough distance from the capital, and like we could build them in different directions. I think that makes more sense than occupying this and then connecting the capital all the way out there. You know, let's hang out for one more turn. We may as well be at full when we go. So yeah, I didn't actually make a decision here. Yeah, we're not in a hurry to get domestication. City defense is probably pretty smart. City defense is one of those technologies that you really don't want to have to research when you need it. Really, you really need to already have it by that time. I accept that. Feel free to buy access to my resources. You know, as soon as that's a thing that can be done. Oh wow, another player border already. This continent is pretty tight. So this region has a strategic and the wonder, and that's it, huh? It's not super compelling.
Okay. Off we go. Off we go. Come over here. Over this way.
All right, is that everybody? Yes. Look at that. We're crushing it. Let's just end the game right now. So how much does this cost? Oh, it's influence, not money. Then I probably don't want to do that. What does it cost to just influence? Okay, it's almost the same cost to just build the Artisan's Quarter via the outpost, which is weird. Alright, we should... Never mind. Met them without even having to do anything. And then we should get away from them. We have already reached the limits of my cordiality.
Let's go.
I like this music track. Not the battle one. What are you attacking me with? Your own scout? Which has 2 combat strength more than mine. Ridiculous. I don't mind the loss of war support here. I think it's perfectly fine for us not to get in a fight with Black.
Life is wonderful, is it not? Treat me and my people with respect, and all will...
Okay. Had I not introduced myself to...
Sovereign.
Okay, yeah, we hadn't been formally introduced, so we couldn't see her traits. So she is also impulsive and adaptative. Very difficult to tell what she's going to do from moment to moment. Reduced assimilate costs. Big money bonus on vassals. That's weird. And they're going to try to vacuum up all of those people. Okay.
A friend.
Let's get back to our new meeting here. So, the Hittites are a militarist faction. You are open and trusting. +2 combat strength on unit if it's a rented army. Okay. So we're going to see yellow and red battling over the independent peoples a little bit, it looks like. All right, you should continue to retreat. Maybe I should be trying to focus a little bit more on attaching territories to my capital. Ooh, look at this. Ebony and papyrus. So these are all things we can take advantage of very early on. Absolutely. Feel free to buy access to all of my stuff. Look at all the money we're making already. This this is not a useful breakdown. Yeah, the natural wonder helps. All right. Also helps to just have your units running around, even if you're not continuing to go out further and further, because curiosities can appear anywhere and they are sometimes very high value. So yeah, I think we want to get down into the valley here and then drop an outpost as quickly as we can, even though it is going to slow down the city. I think that's definitely worth having. What is this? Ah, it's time for Empire Foundation. So, by what right do we rule? So we could enact a divine mandate. It'll bump us to +2 faith on territory and also give us +3 faith on territory. So I guess that gets our religion going. Obviously, like, the extra influence would be nice, but again, this does trend us toward the same thing we were playing last game, so the question is whether this is worth spending influence on now. And I don't know. Lowered create outpost costs will also jam us in this direction. I mean, we could get faith going pretty strong here, pretty quickly. And I do think customary laws are going to be good for us. I think I want to get that second city established before I do either of those, I think. Because influence is expensive. I guess, actually, we should run up here, because there's a couple of tiles we have not yet seen.
Follow me.
And we'll run away from the river a little bit, so that if that army below us follows us up, they won't necessarily be able to catch us. Okay, here we have some coffee. Seems pretty good. Yeah, and taking optimal advantage of the strategics that are available to you in the early game, or the luxuries rather, has got to be a very important element of play with this faction, right? You need that money to make those stars. So, now do we go get writing? There is some fame in it, right? At least I think that deed is always available. The other thing we could do is like pick up bronze working or masonry. I I think I want writing. I know that it looks like it's going to take forever right now, but as we continue to produce population, remember we're also producing science, and hopefully we're going to pull a whole lot of science out of the map. The breathtaking Carcloof Forest. It sure is a big, breathtaking forest. Oh, they are right there, fortunately separated from me by a cliff. I discovered the breathtaking Carcloof Forest. Oh no, sorry. We generated a second thing. Ah, the Nile River. Okay, it's a very large and impressive river, I guess. Ooh, wow, 40 influence. That was a wonderful find. All right, well, we're definitely going to be able to make that city happen now. And then, like, we are going to want to continue to outpost out, so don't exactly know what the best way of doing that is going to be.
Let's go.
No. I might get aggressive about it. So sorry. You are gonna ransack this. And yeah, I think this is important enough to me that I'm gonna make us think about it. Unfortunately, they are potentially in position to fight for it, so we do have to be a little smart about this, especially since it seems like their units are just better than mine. Do I have enough movement? I do not quite. All right, I'm going to merge up, and then we're going to go and harass this. Oh, wait. All right, that one's fine. So apparently we got independent people showing up already. And you know, we are working toward that side of the axis. So down here, let's just get these going. Well, one of these. And then the 7 money from this expansion we're already going to get just by building that artisan's quarter. So I think I would rather build this way. Pick up the clay tile over here. All right. Everybody's buying my stuff. I actually have a lot of money. Well, if I'm going to rush something, I think it's this. It's not even that expensive. Do you have your pottery thing? You do not, but we should probably rush that too. Okay. Then we'll maybe take it easy for a moment there. Okay, and red is attacking us. Actually, sorry, I have 2 reparation. Okay. What's the other one?
How does this day find
Oh.
you?
The other one is I'm getting attacked over here. Okay, well here I'll just retreat. That's whatever. Here I'm being attacked by a unit with veterancy. Well, I guess you'll just retreat. And then God, your unit has 17 power. That's wild. It is crazy how not how not doable that is. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for sure. Oh, nope, those are, yeah. Okay, we're starting to get outclassed kind of everywhere. It may be the case that we have to start building military units, like, pretty quickly here, actually. So at least with my 2 army here... Oh, I was going to say they won't be able to pursue that attack. But they definitely chose to do a different thing that I'm quite surprised by. Alright, so the Civ 4 army composition may actually be useful. So plus vision range on districts versus influence. I mean, it's very hard for me to imagine wanting to go this way. That's authority? It seems terrible. I will enact professional soldiers, and hopefully it will fire immediately. And then I'm also going to enact this right now and just start generating us a lot of faith. Don't exactly know what I want to do with you. So... I mean, we should be able to win this, right? As long as we use the terrain in a reasonably intelligent way. And I can make it so it's very hard for him to attack me without standing in a river. It is not for the moment going to be feasible really for us to do that. We should still move around though, right? Because the river penalty is only 3 points, but the rear attack bonus is 4 points. And then he's going to run up to the high ground. Oh, interesting. He just went for the flag. I guess I see that.
Off we go. Attack!
An expensive victory, no doubt. I would need to declare war against the Hittites because they attached this to their city instantly. How's the cultural pressure going? They're gonna get it. Well, we're not producing faith. Maybe we can end up taking this through religion. So I can fall back and grab this area instead, which I think is totally reasonable. Let's... Let me turn on my yield display here. Wait, that not... Oh, that's the quarter thing. Okay, this is what I want. So there's good food down here. Uh-oh, the hiccups. Gosh, I do hate my hiccups. You know, right there's not bad. Let's head that way. Apologies. I promise I will not record along with hiccups here. Not fun to listen to, I imagine. No, am I not allowed to enter a move action that's like, okay. As long as we are drawing a path toward the exit, it's fine. Right, and I think we're doing quite well on early game influence output. So it shouldn't be a big deal for us to compete for control here. Huh. So, did we... Okay, the Babylonians... I'm wondering, there may be a bug here, because we saw in our last game the player who was in that seat getting free, apparently, free influence over... I hate to use the word influence, that's pretty overloaded, because obviously there's a different thing that is that already, but you know what I mean. And this time Black is at least close enough to have met them, but it still seems strange. I think, though, we are going to pour some of our early money into this. Yeah, let's go ahead and... We're going to pour quite a bit of our early money into it, in fact. And some influence too, eventually. Move around to here. I'm gonna maybe try to group up. Might be a good idea for us to group up. Yeah, I actually really like the district output display. I wish that I had realized that that button was how that was activated before. All right, we got that first era star already, that first merchant star. Very close to a scientist star as well. Let's grab that. And also put down 70 influence. Okay, that's very harsh. Stupid red territory in the middle of my river. I guess you're going to turn around. It will have to be you who puts it down. Oh, wow. What am I getting attacked by? 2 spearmen. All right, hostile. It's a hostile minor faction. That's their whole deal. Here we probably retreat as well. I really don't want to get into a whole thing with black. Especially since it looks like there's a pretty good chance we're going to get into a whole thing with red. But they are making my life difficult for really no reason. We're just kind of getting bullied, which, I guess when you have no military is a thing that is prone to happen. Try to keep my army moving so we don't get immediately jumped. The Phoenicians feel differently. Okay. They depend on access to our resources. That's cool. Neighbors on one side are actually friendly. Yep, everybody wants to buy access to the thing.
Off we go.
So I guess let's just head up here and see if any new curiosities have spawned. Also, can I tell you, overjoyed that it was just a very short bout of hiccups, because I have a tendency to have those just like stretch on forever and develop into like really long-lasting, really painful hiccups that I would not wish on anyone. Okay, boy, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. It's not really safe to go exploring near Lulabon, so guess we'll pull you back this way. And perhaps it is time to build a military unit or two. Might be a good idea to have an archer around. Very pleased with our income, though. We're actually tearing through these pretty quickly. Wow, pink is on 4 stars already. Criminy. I guess if you're engaging in active military stuff, yeah. Still, very impressive. Don't stress too much about our fame and our star progress relative to the other players in the early game, as long as it's not giving them a massive military advantage or something. Remember how much we sort of like came online and expanded very quickly. You are really trying my patience. It'll help once this area belongs to me formally. So 13.3, 15.7 up on the plateau, huh? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right. It's only 2 turns to place it. That'll be fine.
Are you interested?
Very well, friend.
I am in fact interested in having somebody not want to attack me. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if I have the resources necessary to make friends with 2 independent people, unfortunately.
Come over here.
So this is not actually going to be adjacent to anything that we currently own. Grabbing control of this for one of the cities will probably for Napata, because otherwise Napata is going to be cut off. Will give me access to that, and yeah. But I definitely want to claim this as early as possible. Try to keep Red from moving in on it. And I guess you're just gonna go toward the rest of the military for the moment. Like I'm saying, it feels like we probably need to group up for safety. Okay, we are making good money off of these resources. That I'm not so worried about. So I have no idea how much it's going to be to lay down an outpost in this region. Only 30. Oh, you know, this is probably so expensive because it's not adjacent to anything. So 23 is an okay amount of total resource points, but I'm not wild about... Like, that's going to take 10 turns to develop. We could do 13.9 here. I think that's just better. Yeah. Alright, so we're expanding rapidly in the kind of way that might get you into trouble. Also being menaced by minor faction goons. Alright, you just merge onto there. So yeah, it does seem like Black is just getting free points of control. That's a weird bug, and I will say at this point I've watched a few other people play some Humankind. It's not a bug I've seen anyone else have. It may be that my computer is haunted. There's certainly lots of evidence for that. I want to be using my money to buy stuff out. What did it cost to buy this out? I'm just going to do it. We'll hold off buying control over any of the other minor factions. We're going to make real good progress here. It looks like, yeah, it's fine. Well, at least it's not just me. The AI forces fight each other just as aggressively. So can we get... Yeah, we'll get up here and we'll merge up. Here we have the archer, who should probably just move up to the front. And then I kind of want to give this city time to build another point of population. We can't really farm district all that effectively. But we could do a maker's quarter around the Meroe Pyramid, obviously. Reduce the city's food income by even more. +2 food per farmers is certainly not bad. This is a lot of industry for the bonus, but we actually have a tremendous number of forest tiles. Yeah, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 industry without a concomitant stability hit or anything. Kind of think we need to do that. Alright, immediately we're getting more purchases going. Excellent news. That is also excellent news. That is 2 bears. Are bears supposed to be pack hunters? That doesn't feel right to me.
Over this way.
Okay, probably not worth putting up the other luxury deposit immediately. I might want to just build palisades. No, that doesn't feel very good. I probably just want to build my... Oh, that's right. I did build the pyramid already. I bought it out. Boy. Building maker's quarters around the pyramid was going to be a lot better when we were going to own this region. Maybe I do build this. Maybe I make a military unit here as well. Actually, let's put together some kind of reasonably functional military. How about that?
Understood. Yes.
Well, I appreciate that they're not attacking me. Maybe the hostile independent peoples are unlikely to mess with you too much if you're in your own home territory. That would be a nice way for that to work. So we got 3 turns left on this. We want to connect through as quickly as possible. You know, I probably need to get back down here, right? Like they're absolutely going to run over and pillage this if we let them. Oh, and they sure are going for it. Really? Okay. Let's see if we can bait him forward, I guess. We could just surround him down there. Doesn't feel very smart, though. Are you smart enough to... Okay. Sadly, does not want to come and fight us. So, can I get you? I cannot. There, we can build up maximum friendly unit bonus.
No fear.
And then we could try setting up a flank next turn with our units sort of all being in more aggressive positions here. In fact, I'm going to back you up there so that you're not in their zone of control anymore. Okay. That's interesting. So we did bait them into letting us high ground attack one time. Yeah, the way the zone of control works is going to make this really awkward.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
There we go. Just trying to get a little surround. Sadly, not a real surround. Ugh, boy. These are all terrible odds. I guess this one doesn't go too badly for us. Yeah, they did a lot of damage, but so did we.
No fear.
That one was pretty awful.
No mercy.
Boy, they are rolling near maximum damage against us on almost every attack. Well, this at least keeps them from ransacking my stuff. And you're not allowed to participate in such battles yet. We do not have the basic logistics knowledge necessary for reinforcement.
I'm on it.
For both of our aspirations.
I guess. I don't think that's actually relevant to our relationship, but I will do it. Okay, so now... Our total empire population is 3. It does seem like it's going to be very difficult for shamanism to compete with polytheism in the early game. I guess maybe by the mid-game, shamanism starts to overtake it in terms of faith output, but I definitely want to be established a little bit more by then. All right, so let's finish this. Okay. Wait, was that the deed for writing? It sure is. Bummer. An unexpected rivalry has erupted between two temples in Kerma, each representing a different sect of our religion. Okay. One of them believes that only men should be priests, and the other one believes that only women should be priests. Well, we are kind of trying to push that slider toward tradition this game, so we're going to pick one of these two. I really have no idea whether this matters, like in terms of creating future events or whatever. I'm going to just arbitrarily say women. Not really a lot of strategy to that.
Off we go.
Yeah, I guess just get downriver. Okay, you're good for the turn. So we're back up to 374. We're bringing in the gold very quickly, or the money rather. I guess we're saving our influence. Are they? Is this a sphere of influence thing? Is that why I have? Okay, yeah. So I do have a little bit of favor coming in already. We can push it though. Yeah, global proximity, like ideological proximity, reduces the cost of this stuff by so much. That's very, very helpful. All right. The Babylonians feel differently.
I'm pleased to see you. Really?
Extremely believable. All right, and their military is stronger than mine. A concern, to be sure. Well, let's see about connections here. So I definitely want to take this. Okay, and we can totally afford that as well. Excellent news. So let's build our artisans' quarters over these things. So this is just +1 food per farmers. This is industry on... I probably actually want to go that way. Do I want to just buy that out? Let's, in fact, let's take a look at Yellow's resources, right? Maybe we could run some, like, proper trade. Everybody's always buying stuff from me, and I do appreciate it, but I should also be buying stuff from other people. Ooh, our proximity on you is extremely bad. Well, once we've built up a little bit more, maybe we can, maybe we just go down there and take them out militarily. So you're no longer needed to watch over this administrative center. Guess we can have you come back here and scout for respawning curiosities. So we're getting really close on a bunch of stars. A single district completion gets us where we're going there, which obviously we're not very far from. Single technology gets us that star. We're going to pull another money star next turn. Okay, so we are quite close to getting a big flush of fame. Boy, it's not going to get us to 1150, but it's gonna be a lot. All right, stars upon stars upon stars. Oh, hey, it's the game of prophecy. That's going to cost me some influence, so no thanks. We can let the people gossip and have the prophecy prove false that way. And honestly, the cost of this is like nothing. Or we could heed the warning of the divination and prepare for the worst, which is going to damage our science output. And it's a move in the direction we want to go, but I don't know that it's necessary right now. Kind of think I'm just going to take this one. We will simply ignore the prophecy, because it's a prophecy, and as such, nonsense. Maybe gonna run down here and grab this. Actually, maybe that's a job for a scout. Just keep the archer near the city.
Follow me.
Aha! Exactly what we were looking for. Okay, so they're granting me vision now from being in this region. Yep. 200, does that say? You know, we can be at 200. I can just stop spending influence. We don't have the city cap for that yet, but the first point of city cap's not too far into the next era. All right, what do we want? What do we want next? Actually, you know what I probably want next is roads. Irrigation's also very good, though. Got a lot of river tiles. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, there's another star. People are getting converted. Money is being made. Can you go grab the... it's inside their city now. They built a district over top of it. That's very inconvenient. What are they thinking?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
So we're going to get that in 2 turns. That in 1 turn. And then we're actually only 1 star away from moving to the next era. And we're approaching the 3rd merchant star very quickly. Yeah, I guess you don't really have anything else to do. We could go search down this river. See if any more curiosities have spawned over here. We're not going to use our merchant affinity ability because we're saving influence. So, yeah. Do I even want to convert you? I mean, I certainly want to make it impossible for them to convert you. Oh, right. You occasionally have to put some money back in. +4 is probably a fine rate for that. I don't want to spend any more than that. And let's go see what your deal is. Oh, wow, you have a lot of stuff. We don't have any research quarters. Just raw plus industry. Papyrus is good for us. The Phoenicians only have this resource because of the Hittites, but they can redirect it to you. It will cost everything. What about, say, the dye? Same deal, actually. It's in the same place, basically. Well, guess I'd rather have the dye. Yeah, buying resources seems important. All right, so we got our builder star. Kambalia is having trouble. That's this region, right? Apparently I discovered a lake. Oh. How did I've been seeing this lake the entire game. I guess I just finally got vision of the last tile or something. That's probably what it is. 0 is a concept of incredible power. A philosopher from the intellectual quarter of Napata convinced you and the rest of the court in an astounding demonstration where its utility became clear. Large numbers could now be easily handled, and calculations would become much simpler to reckon. Vital aspects in everything from managing vast projects to undertaking simple transactions. It could revolutionize trade. But can the Empire's people understand it? A trial is needed. Who will be the first subjects to prove its value? Like, the concept of 0 is such an elemental thing. It's like, it's taught to everybody now so early. It's very difficult to imagine a time when it wasn't a thing that was just, like, obviously broadly understood. I mean, it must have come as quite a shock. I can get that. So production will be increased, workers paid more easily, constructions built more efficiently. I mean, I do like overproductive. Moneylenders modifies you toward world and creates +15 money per turn on both cities. or tithe collectors, which gives us bonus food in our cities. That's weird. How much money do I need? I still need $400 to get that next star. We're gonna get that in plenty of time. We don't need this buff. Is that even the direction we want that axis to go in? Maybe? Honestly, I'm a little torn on that one. Gosh, apparently I need to put out more influence. Alright, well the answer then is I don't know what we want. I guess I'm gonna do bountiful. Food is always very powerful.
I offer an excellent proposition.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
Color me curious.
We're getting along well with yellow for the moment. Let's just continue doing so. Just checking over here for curiosities. And I really don't know what to do with a fair number of my units at this point. Okay, there's something. There's something to do. So it's going to be 4 more turns before we're at enough favor with them to be able to buy them out. But we will be able to buy them out when it happens. Do I want a House of Scribes? Probably not. It's probably not a huge benefit. So we're at 43 industry from this city. I'm actually not sure what to build next. I mean, we could maybe just pump out a couple of melee units to go in front of the archers and then maybe try to make something happen against red. Maybe. You know what? This seems like an okay time to stop and just think about it a bit. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, hopefully I'm going to have some kind of plan, and we'll see you then.